The tourist town of Branson was especially hard hit by the storms. No one died, but dozens of people were hurt, and the storm raked the city's main tourist strip, 76 Country Music Boulevard. KSPR's Jonah Kaplan has been covering the Leap Day storms since before dawn. He joins us now with the latest. Jonah.
This isn't the scene of a plane crash overnight here in Branson. It's actually part of the Lost Treasures Golf Resort, one of the icons here along the Branson Strip that was damaged. Maybe there weren't a lot of lives lost here in the area from the storms, but the very livelihood of Branson was damaged.
This is not the kind of action that tourists associate with the Branson Strip. The only flashing lights belong to police cars, and no one was smiling in front of a camera.
Well, we were on our way to Graceland to find Elvis. And we stopped in just for a day, just as we were traveling by, and then we saw everything that there is to see here. So many theater shows and everything. We'd never been to that.
Chris and Jackie Dotremont of Winnipeg, Canada spent the past few days taking in the sights and sounds of the Music City. They say it's a trip they'll never forget, but for the wrong reason.
Now this is devastating. It's we're not used to that. We're from a snow country. We can't stay. I really feel sorry for all the people here. It's devastating.
The severe weather ripped through the heart of the Branson Strip, tearing down the kind of attractions where visitors like the Dotremonts shop, stay, and play. The Branson Mall, the Blue Bayou Inn, and the Haunted House and Monster Asylum.
Too bad.
For us, it's pretty bad. We see this stuff on TV all the time.
Yeah.
But now we see it live, it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
And if the Dotremonts leave early, that's bad news for Branson business owners like John Rasmussen, who recently opened this old-time American burger shop.
It meant a lot, We spent the last 4 months doing the renovation and kind of general construction, and you're looking forward to a good season.
Rasmussen has a lot more work to do now. The storm leveled one side of his restaurant.
This is all buildings, and it is sad, and it's a bummer, but, it's not about sitting here and feeling sorry for yourself what happened. It's about, coming out stronger in the long run. So that's what we'll try to do.
And while that might be the case in the future, the Dotremonts will be long gone by then.
Your brother is in New Orleans?
Yeah. Yeah.
And we just talked to him on the phone, and he phoned us, and he was going to come through, and now he might change his mind and go back home.
No matter how optimistic anyone is here about rebuilding Branson, one thing is for sure. The official start of spring is only 3 weeks away. In Branson, Jonah Kaplan, KSPR News.
Now here is the exact area of the strip that has the most damage. It's basically a zigzag along 76 Country Music Boulevard between Gretna Road and Epps Road. The heaviest damage was reported on the western edge of the strip near the Bandstand Theater. Wednesday morning, severe weather wreaked havoc on parts of Taney County, especially Branson. The storm ripped through the tourist town's main artery, Highway 76, commonly referred to as the Strip. KSPR's Jonah Kaplan has been covering the Leap Day storms in Branson since before dawn. He joins us now with the latest.
These are not the attractions that tourists associate with the Music City. The only flashing lights belong to police cars, and no one was smiling in front of a camera.
2 o'clock in the morning, I was sound asleep. My roommate, my boss, he got up. He heard the sirens going off. He went to check the curtain, open the curtain, see what's going on, and right as he did that, the transformer on the power line over here blew.
Dylan McGarren came to Branson for a new business opportunity, and like most visitors, picked a hotel in the heart of the Strip.
What's that?
McGarren stayed at JR's Motor Inn, at the center of a tornado's path.
The whole thing lasted only about 20 seconds, and it was over. But glass was shattering, glass was coming in our faces. Terrified, absolutely terrified. Biggest adrenaline rush I've ever had in my life.
There were only 5 rooms that were occupied here at JR's Motor Inn, and you can see the damage obviously so visible and transparent through the windows, through the doors, even through the roof. A couple hundred feet away, there were more people staying at this Holiday Inn Express and Suites. Perhaps damage not as visible, but to the people who stayed there, the experience no less traumatic.
I happen to have a double room, and one of the rooms in the suite, the door blew open, and it was a full window door, so glass was all over that room.
All of a sudden, just hear this unbelievably strong wind, and just beating on the building. So kind of wake up and look around, and all of a sudden it got so powerful and so deafening.
If there's any silver lining, the tornado struck during the off-season, leaving most rooms empty. No one in any hotel suffered serious injury, and that includes Dylan McGarren.
I was sleeping, so I was in my bare feet, and once we got up, I was walking on glass, and I cut my toe up. But yeah, I mean, very fortunate, very blessed to still be here.
In Branson, Jonah Kaplan, KSPR News.
Many homes and businesses are still without power.
On the Strip, crews return to work early and tell us they are making significant progress. KSPR's Jonah Kaplan has the latest from Branson.
What a difference a day makes. Almost 50 electric poles down, at least 15 new ones standing up.
By the time the day's in, we'll probably have 50 guys in here working, and trucks putting it all back together.
By week's end, Empire District's fleet will double in size. Manager John Donaldson says equipment and poles are being brought in from as far as Minnesota. The storm did more than turn off the Strip's lights.
The main circuit coming out of the sub, all the poles were destroyed. And then, of course, down the Strip a little bit, they took a direct hit. The large sheet metal siding, things like that, acts like a big wing, just takes it down like a wall.
Crews spent the day untangling dozens of lines, some carrying more than 160,000 volts.
And even in the daylight hours, well, you can actually see the difference. Over here at the Music City Center, well, drivers can watch the billboard, see who's coming to Branson. And folks staying at the La Quinta Inn, well, they were able to wake up with a hot breakfast.
Branson city officials say the cleanup is moving as quickly as possible because it has to.
The important factor is to let people know that Branson's going to be open very soon. And so we're trying to get prepared as spring is just around the corner.
Empire crew members say they share the same sense of urgency.
We're concerned for our customers, but you also need to remember this is our home. This is where we're from. People that we're helping restore oftentimes are our neighbors, so it's important to us that they're taken care of.
In Branson, Jonah Kaplan, KSPR News.
Thanks, Jonah. Empire District Electric says about 900 of its customers remain in the dark this hour. Most of them are in Branson, with the remainder in Forsyth in Taney County. White River Co-op reports about 1,400 customers without power. Most of them are in Stone County. Both utility companies say it could be several more days before everyone's power is restored.
Further west, Branson officials tell us they are pleased with the cleanup process so far, but challenges remain. KSPR's Jonah Kaplan joins us now from the Branson Strip with more.
Well, it's really a tale of two city blocks. Here in Branson, a day after the severe weather, the Grand Country Music Hall, the Inn Buffet, well, it's all got power back. Customers have returned. But across the street, JR's Motor Inn, well, the scene is a lot more devastating. The debris still on the ground. And now the challenge, where does it all go?
The Branson Strip is never short of activity. Today, the music came from trucks, traffic, and trash. But that left little room to maneuver. While engineers untangled dozens of power lines, debris still littered sites like the Branson Car Museum and American Bandstand Theater. The mess has to go somewhere, and city officials have asked for help from local developers. Let us use your land to dump some of the mess. Don't worry, we won't be long.
Well, we have a lot of lessons learned in the rainforest, from the Springfield ice storm several years ago to the Kaplan tornado last year. Those folks have come in and given us a lot of good advice on how to better manage those plans to meet the federal guidelines.
Chief Martin says that includes sorting through the debris for hazardous materials and recyclable metals.
As businesses and crews continue their cleanup of all the debris from yesterday's severe weather, city officials tell us they have to do some cleaning too. They have to pile up some money. Because if the federal government, doesn't declare this a disaster area, it's the city who will have to pay for the cleanup itself. In Branson, Jonah Kaplan, KSPR News.